The story of Elijah versus Baal prophets. In the gentle hills of ancient Israel, where olive trees swayed soft as evening prayers and morning mist cloaked the valleys like divine whispers, a remarkable story unfolded peaceful as dawn light. This tale speaks of faith steady as mountain streams and truth clear as morning stars. Centered around the prophet Elijah and his unwavering trust in the Lord. The land lay wrapped in drought deep as valley shadows, its soil crying quiet as midnight for heaven's touch. King Ahab and his queen had led the people toward the worship of Baal, their hearts wandering distant as autumn leaves on evening breeze. Yet Elijah, whose faith stood firm as ancient cedars, carried wisdom pure as mountain springs in his heart. As morning light touched the eastern hills gentle as mother's touch, Elijah felt divine guidance soft as shepherd's call stirring in his spirit. The time had come, flowing inevitable as river currents, to demonstrate truth clear as noonday sun. He approached King Ahab, his words floating calm as morning mist across troubled waters. A gathering was called, peaceful as stars assembling in evening sky. The people would come to Mount Carmel, rising majestic as divine promise against horizon blue as heaven's dreams. Here, upon heights sacred as temple courts, truth would emerge bright as sunrise. The prophets of Baal, numerous as spring flowers, would meet Elijah, who stood alone yet steady as North Star in his purpose. The morning of the gathering dawned quiet as prayer, with dew settling gentle as mercy on waiting earth. People came from near and far, their footsteps soft as rainfall on mountain paths, their hearts uncertain as shadows at twilight. They gathered on Carmel's slopes, where wind whispered ancient as creation through cedar branches. As morning light grew warm as summer memories, Elijah stood before the assembled people, his presence calm as deep water. His voice carried across the gathering soft as evening breeze, asking a question that settled gentle as falling leaves in their hearts. How long would they waver, floating uncertain as autumn mist between two paths? The Lord, eternal as mountain stones, or Baal, fleeting as morning fog? The challenge emerged smooth as stream water over sacred stones. Two altars would be prepared, peaceful as garden flowers awaiting morning light. Two bulls would be chosen, their selection careful as prayer. The prophets of Baal, numerous as stars in winter sky, would call upon their deity first, while Elijah would stand patient as growing trees in his trust of the Lord. The altar of Baal rose steady as morning sun, built with stones placed careful as thoughts in meditation. Wood was arranged gentle as puzzle pieces finding their place, and their bull was prepared reverent as temple offering. The prophets began their prayers, their voices rising soft as dawn chorus into morning air pure as mountain streams. Morning passed quiet as drifting clouds into afternoon, warm as summer memories. The prophets of Baal continued their appeals, their movements flowing like leaves in autumn wind. Yet heaven remained silent as midnight stars. No response stirring gentle as breeze or bright as lightning. The silence stretched long as evening shadows across mountain slopes. Elijah waited patient as seasons turning, his heart steady as North Star. As sun traveled peaceful as divine purpose across sky blue as forget-me-nots, he watched with compassion deep as well water. These people, searching earnest as spring flowers reaching for light, needed truth clear as morning dew to guide their paths. As afternoon light mellowed gentle as honey, Elijah stepped forward quiet as prayer. His movements flowed smooth as stream water as he began preparing his altar, each stone placed mindful as meditation. The ancient stones of a broken altar were gathered careful as precious memories, restored peaceful as dawn restores the world. Around the altar he carved a trench deep as wisdom, wide as mercy. The wood was arranged thoughtful as temple preparation. The bull lay gentle as offering upon it. Then came a request soft as twilight settling over hills. Water, precious as life itself in this time of drought, was to be poured abundant as divine love over the sacrifice. 3 times the water flowed pure as mountain springs over wood and stone, filling the trench until it gleamed bright as morning light on still pools. In this land parched as forgotten promises, using water abundant as mercy spoke of faith deep as ocean currents. The people watched quiet as midnight, their breathing gentle as summer breeze. The sun began its descent peaceful as evening prayer. When Elijah stepped forward, his presence calm as deep waters. His prayer rose soft as morning mist, simple as truth, pure as first light. No dramatic gestures disturbed the air quiet as waiting dreams. No loud appeals broke the silence sacred as temple courts. Just words flowing gentle as stream water, carrying faith steady as North Star. The response came swift as divine purpose, bright as morning star. Fire descended pure as heaven's light, consuming sacrifice, wood, and stone. Even the water, precious as life itself, vanished in heat intense as divine presence, yet controlled as shepherd's care. The fire spoke clear as sunrise of power, eternal as mountain foundations, yet its message fell gentle as evening dew upon waiting hearts. The people fell quiet as snowfall, their faces touched by awe gentle as morning light. The truth settled in their hearts soft as autumn leaves, clear as mountain springs. The Lord, eternal as starlight, mighty as ocean depths, yet tender as shepherd's care, had answered peaceful as dawn answering night. What followed flowed necessary as river currents, guided by divine wisdom pure as first light. The prophets of Baal, who had led people distant as winter shadows from truth, were gathered quiet as evening mist. Justice came swift as summer storm, yet the tale tells it gentle as falling dew, mindful of hearts tender as spring buds listening in twilight hours. Then Elijah turned his heart, steady as North Star, toward heaven's mercy. He climbed Carmel's height peaceful as prayer rising, his faith clear as morning star, that rain would return abundant as divine promises to the parched land. 7 times he sent his servant to look toward the sea, vast as divine love, patient as growing trees. At last came a cloud small as mercy's beginning, rising from waters deep as divine mysteries. It grew steady as hope until sky dark as divine purposes brought rain gentle as forgiveness to earth thirsty as waiting hearts. The rain fell soft as shepherd's blessing, soaking soil dry as ancient dust, restoring life quiet as prayer. Elijah, strengthened pure as morning light, ran ahead of Ahab's chariot through the rain. His feet carried him swift as divine purpose, yet peaceful as evening prayers, showing respect gentle as dawn light for authority placed high as mountain peaks. The story of power pure as heaven's fire had ended in rain soft as mercy, washing earth clean as divine love. This ancient tale, flowing gentle as stream water over sacred stones, speaks to hearts across time vast as starlit skies. It reminds us, quiet as prayer, that standing alone, faithful as morning light for truth, sometimes asks courage deep as mountain roots. Yet divine presence remains steady as heartbeat, powerful as ocean depth,